One of these 10 cities sits almost 600 miles from Lisbon, out in the Atlantic. On a normal itinerary, you're flying there. Portugal fits inside the state of Indiana, so people plan it as one loop, all by train. But in practice, these are 3 different trips, and they don't fit together the way the map makes you think. I'll show you which ones belong together and how a €35 ticket can cost far less. Start in Lisbon, and not just because it's the capital. Lisbon is the first of your 2 bases, and that word, base, is the most important thing in this entire video. The idea is simple. You don't sleep in 10 cities, you sleep in 2, and you visit the rest from there. Lisbon charges a municipal tourist tax of €4 per person per night, capped at 7 nights per stay. Under 13, you don't pay. That won't break your trip, but it adds up. A couple staying 5 nights is €40 nobody warned you about. My first tip here costs you nothing and saves you a lot of time. And it's about Belém. You're going to see a huge line outside Pastéis de Belém and think about giving up. Don't. That line is the takeaway line. It's people getting them to go. The rooms inside have far more space than the street queue suggests. You walk in the door, sit down, and order. And honestly, I would do anything for one of those right now. Anything. I ate 5 in one sitting once, and I don't regret a single one of them. Lisbon is your southern base. Everything in the next 3 blocks you do from here, and you come back to sleep in the same bed. Sintra is 40 minutes by train from Lisbon. The ticket costs €2.55. At that price, it looks like the easiest day trip in the world. But Sintra punishes people who show up without a plan, and the reason is one small piece of paperwork that changes everything. Pena Palace, that yellow and red castle you've already seen in photos, works on entry for a specific date and time. I wouldn't count on walking up to the door and picking whatever slot you want. Palace plus park is €20. The park on its own is 12. Last entry is at 6 in the evening, so Sintra isn't the best place to improvise. Pena is an appointment, and it's worth buying before you leave Lisbon. And here's the second part, which is where most people actually go wrong. Don't book Pena for the middle of the day. Book it as early as you can get. The coach tours leave Lisbon in the morning and reach Sintra around 10. If you're already inside when they arrive, you're somewhere else entirely. After that, you use the rest of the day to explore Sintra with more flexibility, instead of building the whole visit around one line. It feels like a lot of control for a day out, I know. But that control is exactly what turns Sintra from a stressful day into the best day of the trip. If Sintra is the day that demands a plan, Cascais is the opposite, and that's exactly why it's on this list. 33 minutes by train from Cais do Sodré in Lisbon, €2.30 one way. No time slot, no ticket bought in advance, nothing. You wake up, you decide, you go. Cascais is a fishing village that became the seaside resort of the Portuguese aristocracy and never gave up either identity. There's a marina, there's a beach inside the town itself, and there's a historic center you can cross on foot in 20 minutes. And this is where I want to give you a piece of advice that isn't about any place at all. Keep one day with no plan. A whole day where the only decision is what time you get up. On a 10-city trip, the temptation is to cram everything in. But the day people actually remember afterwards is almost never the day with the timed castle ticket. It's the day they had a slow lunch somewhere with no name and sat looking at the water. Cascais is the best place in Portugal to spend that day because it asks nothing of you. That closes the easy part. From the next block on, the country starts to come apart. Coimbra sits between Lisbon and Porto, and it's the first city that forces a real decision. Do you stop here or do you go straight through? The answer depends on a library. The Joanina Library inside the University of Coimbra is from the 1700s, and it has a visiting system I've never seen anywhere else. You go in on 20-minute slots. The time printed on your ticket is the time you go in. And if you're late, you lose your entry. No exchange, no refund, no exception. 20 minutes. That's what you get. And before that sounds like too little, it is too little, and it's still worth it. It's a hall lined in gilded wood with 2 levels of shelves. And there's a real story about bats helping keep down the insects that would otherwise damage the books. So here's the practical tip. If Coimbra is going into your trip, buy that ticket before you buy the train ticket. The library's schedule decides your day, not the other way around. And if you don't want that commitment, that's fine. On a first trip with limited time, Coimbra becomes optional, and that's exactly the kind of decision this itinerary should be helping you make. Aveiro is the short stop of this trip, and I want you to treat it exactly like that. The city has canals, and on the canals you'll find the moliquiros, painted boats with a high curved prow that used to collect seaweed and now carry visitors. The ride lasts about 45 minutes and costs somewhere between 13 and 15 euros a person. You're going to see Aveiro called the Venice of Portugal everywhere. It isn't, and that comparison does more harm than good, because it makes you expect an entire city built on water and hands you a small, charming town with a few pretty canals. Show up expecting Venice and you leave disappointed. Show up expecting 3 pleasant hours and you leave delighted. Same city. The only thing that changed is what you came expecting. And then there are the ovos moles, the local sweet. Egg yolk and sugar inside a thin wafer shell, shaped like little shells and fish. I ate 6. They were supposed to last the whole trip. They lasted until the train station. On a first trip, I'd treat Aveiro as a half morning or half afternoon, between Coimbra and Porto, not as a mandatory overnight. That way it's a good pause along the way without eating a whole night of your itinerary. Porto is your second base, and for a lot of people it ends up being the favorite city of the whole trip. The municipal tourist tax here is 3 euros a night, for anyone over 13, capped at 7 consecutive nights. Now, the trap in Porto isn't price, it's a bookshop. Livraria Lello is beautiful, and it's probably the most photographed bookstore in the world. It charges admission. 10 euros for the simplest ticket, and that amount comes off the price if you buy a book. That's fair. The problem isn't the cost, it's the expectation. Inside, it's a lot smaller than it looks in photos, and at peak hours, you're shuffling single file up the staircase. If you go right at opening and go planning to buy a book. That way, the ticket stops being a ticket and becomes a discount. And the thing I recommend most in Porto costs nothing at all. Walk across the Dom Luis Bridge on the upper deck, late in the afternoon, heading toward Vila Nova de Gaia. The whole city appears at once on the other side of the river with the sun hitting the rooftops. It's free, it takes 15 minutes, and it's the best thing you'll see in the city. Porto is your northern base. The next trips out start from here. Braga is less than an hour from Porto, and it's on this list for a very specific reason. It's the city that proves Portugal doesn't charge you for everything. Bom Jesus do Monte is a sanctuary at the top of a hill with a Baroque zigzag staircase climbing the entire slope, covered in fountains and statues on every landing. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking into the grounds is free. Walking into the basilica is free. Climbing the staircase is free. There's a funicular next to it, water-powered. One of the oldest still running anywhere. That one you pay for, and it's cheap. But the better call is to walk up at least once because the staircase was built to be climbed slowly. Every landing means something. Taking the funicular up is like reading the last chapter first. 20 minutes of climbing, and yes, you're going to sweat. But you do it in the morning, while it's still cool, and you take the funicular back down. That way you get both, and you arrive at the top without melting. That closes the north. Now the country really does change. Here's where the second of the 3 trips begins. Faro is the capital of the Algarve, and a lot of visitors only ever know Faro as an airport. They land, they pick up a rental car, and they head straight for the beaches. I wouldn't treat the city as just a gateway, because it can also work as a base. Faro has a tiny walled old town with stone streets, and a chapel whose walls are lined with the bones of monks, which is exactly as unsettling as it sounds, and exactly the kind of thing you don't forget. And then there's the Ria Formosa, a protected lagoon with sand islands sitting between the city and the open sea. Boats leave Faro for those islands. On one of them, Calatra, there's a fishing community with no cars at all. There isn't a single road for them on the island. A tour that visits 2 islands takes about 3 hours. But the thing I really need you to understand about Faro is the boring part. The fast train logic pretty much ends here. Lisbon to Faro on the Alpha Pendular takes around 2 hours and 52 minutes, and that's excellent. The problem starts when you try to head west and move around inside the Algarve. That's what the next block is about. Lagos sits at the western end of the Algarve, and it's the city that exposes the problem. From Faro to Lagos is about 65 miles, on a map that looks like nothing. On the regional train, it takes an hour and 45 minutes and costs €7.30. By bus, an hour and 50, €8.50. €7 to cross the Algarve is cheap, but nearly 2 hours to cover 65 miles is slow, and that's where the plan to see the whole Algarve by train starts to fall apart. There's a worse detail, and almost nobody warns you about it. In some Algarve towns, the train station isn't in the town. In places like Albufeira and Lulé, the station sits miles from the center. So you get off the train and you still need a taxi or a bus to reach where you were actually going. So the Algarve decision is a clean one. Pick one base and stay in it. Lagos is an excellent base. Faro is an excellent base. Trying to sleep in 3 different Algarve towns in 4 days is how you lose half your days to get in there. In Lagos, the thing to do is Ponta da Piedade, golden cliffs, arches, and grottos you can only really see from the water. Small boats leave from the harbor, and the short trips start at around €20. And now the third trip, which is the one that breaks everybody. Funchal isn't in mainland Portugal. Funchal is on Madeira, roughly 600 miles from Lisbon, out in the middle of the Atlantic. There's no train and no bridge connecting the island to the mainland. On a normal itinerary out of Lisbon, you're flying, and the flight takes around an hour and 45 minutes. There are several direct connections through the week, so getting there isn't the challenge. The challenge is fitting the island in without wrecking the rhythm of the rest of the trip. And that's the part people work out too late. I've seen a lot of people build a 10-city Portugal itinerary with Madeira slotted in between 2 mainland stops, as if it were just another city on the list. It isn't. Madeira works better as a separate trip with its own flight, and I'd set aside at least 3 or 4 days for it to make sense. With less time than that, the travel starts to weigh too much against the time you actually spend on the island. And if you do go, the most Madeira thing there has to be the Monte Toboggans. Wicker baskets on wooden runners that slide down the street, pushed and steered by 2 men in white with straw hats. It runs about €27.50 for one person, 35 for 2. Write this one down. You pay cash, on the spot, on the day. You can't book it online. Plenty of people turn up without cash and go home without the ride. Now the money decision in this video, and it's worth more than any hotel choice you're going to make. The route you'll use most in Portugal is Lisbon to Porto. The fast train is the Alpha Pendular, and it covers the 2 cities in 2 hours and 50 minutes. If you buy that ticket on the day you travel, in second class it costs €35.70. First class $49.90. Now the same journey on the same service, bought ahead. CP, the National Railway, has a fare called Promo. You can buy it from 5 up to 60 days before you travel. Buying 5 days ahead, the discount goes up to 56%. At 8 days or more, it goes up to 65%. 65%. Same train. There are 2 conditions, and I need to be honest about them. First, the number of promotional seats on each train is limited, so the closer you get to the date, the less is left. Second, and this is the important one, a promo ticket can be exchanged, but it isn't refunded. So here's the practical rule. The moment you lock your dates, not the hotel, not the tours, the dates, go look at the trains between cities. At 8 days or more, you're inside the window for the maximum advertised discount. If there are still promo seats available, it's the lowest effort, highest return money move of the entire trip. So let's put it all together. The 10 cities are 3 trips. Lisbon, Sintra, Cascais, Coimbra, Aveiro, Porto, and Braga are one of them. The rail spine, which works like a national metro. 2 bases, Lisbon and Porto, and everything else runs off them. Faro and Lagos are the second trip. Pick one base, stay in it, and accept that crossing the Algarve is slower than the map promises. And Funchal is the third trip. Its own flight, 3 or 4 days, and no squeezing it into the middle of everything else. If you have 10 days, do the first trip in full, and pick one of the other 2. Try all 3 and you won't have seen Portugal. You'll have seen Portuguese transport. And now, the 4 things I'd skip, or do differently. First, the Benagil Sea Cave in the Algarve. It really is beautiful, but it got so popular that today you only go in by boat or by kayak. You can't swim there, and you can't step out onto the sand inside. You pass through and you come out. If the photos you saw had people standing on that sand, those photos are from before the new rules. Second, the Mercado dos Lavradores in Funchal. Go for the building and the flowers, which are gorgeous. In the exotic fruit section, the prices can catch you off guard. Before you taste or buy anything, ask the price per kilo first. Third, Tram 28 in Lisbon. Ride it, it's lovely. But it tends to get very crowded, so treat it like any packed tourist ride. Backpack on your front, nothing important in your back pocket. And fourth, don't sleep in 10 cities. On the rail spine, use Lisbon and Porto as your bases. The Algarve and Madeira come in as separate blocks, not as extra stops in a race. If this video saved you one bad booking, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It helps more than you think, and it's free. And tell me in the comments which of the 3 trips you do first: the rail spine, the Algarve, or the island. I read all of them.